Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I see some of you are still standing at the doorway. There's a place to sit, so please come in and have a seat. And for all of you, welcome to the November 15th, 2016 meeting of the Los Gatos Town Council. If you haven't already done so, please silence your devices. And Madam, Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you and good evening. Councilmember Marcia Jensen.
Here.
Councilmember Rob Rennie.
Here.
Councilmember Steve Leonardis.
Here.
Vice Mayor Mariko Sayak.
Here.
Mayor and Chair Barbara Spector.
Here. At each of our meetings, we invite what I call stellar student from the community to help us in the Pledge of Allegiance. This evening, that stellar student is Emiliano Mejia. Will you please come up, Emiliano? After he gets up here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. Emiliano is a sixth grader at Fisher Middle School. I'm going to go through many of his accomplishments, but you're going to see a pattern. In baseball, he's the home run holder for 2016 Los Gatos Little League and was voted its most valuable player, MVP. In football, he has thus far scored 4 touchdowns as a running back in Pop Warner football. In boxing, he is part of the Sunnyvale Police Athletic Club. But before you think that all he does is sports, he maintains an A+ average in accelerated math. Let's give him a round of applause. They like it. I'm going to give him the microphone, and please join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Another round of applause. Again, I'm going to invite everybody who's standing in the doorway to please come in. People don't like to sit up front, but we like you up front so we can see you. All right, we are now on the next agenda item, which is our Council Town Manager reports. Council, Ms. Jensen.
Since our last meeting, I attended the VTA Policy Advisory Committee, and of note at that meeting was that Measure B, the transit tax, passed, actually with a historic percentage of 71%, supported and endorsed by myself, Mr. Rennie, and Ms. Sayak. We also learned about how that's going to be implemented and the time frame for that. Money should start being collected in April, and so hopefully we will be talking to the VTA about the projects that we can do for Los Gatos.
Mr. Rennie.
Thank you, Mayor Spector. I've done several things since our last council meeting. On 11/2, I presented at the Lions Club as the vice chair for the Silicon Valley Clean Energy Authority, where I explained what community choice aggregation and our new clean energy company was and how we're starting to deliver power in April of 2017. Last night, I also shared a presentation with Liz Gibbons from the Campbell Council, this time it was at a League of Women Voters Forum, and again presenting for the Silicon Valley Clean Energy Authority. Also on 11/19, I attended the Silicon Valley Clean Energy Authority board meeting where we accomplished several items. We approved a revolving credit for $2 million. We approved memorandum of understanding for several of the cities that are guaranteeing this credit. We approved delegation of authority to execute power purchase agreements. We're moving ahead there. And an agreement with a company to do power scheduling and coordinate with Cal ISO. On 11/10, I attended the Emergency Operating Area Council, where I'm the alternate from the Cities Association. Interesting facts there. They're forecasting a weakening of the El Nino forecast, which means we may not, there's less chance of less rain than we had, I guess. Maybe that's a good thing. They also did a presentation about the Loma fire and the cleanup actions that are going on. It was a 4,400-acre fire, and they spent $16 million on suppression and cleanup. It's also interesting to know that there's a lot of work that goes on repairing the damage after the fighting is over with. They're fixing fences they broke through, roads that were damaged, planting to control runoff, and repairing where fire breaks were made. On 11/10, I attended the Cities Association board later that same day. And one thing to note is the county is requesting our help in Los Gatos to make the county of Santa Clara a heritage site by passing a resolution in support. Their theme is that Silicon Valley is a valley of firsts. If anybody's interested in attending, they're having a community meeting on it December 5th at the Campbell City Hall. Another item they talked about was Prop 64, the marijuana, and somebody from San Jose presented on how they had to adjust their ordinances, and maybe we need to consider whether we need to adjust ours with that new prop or not. And on 11/12, I also attended the retirement of Sergeant Lane Davis, who has put in 30 years of service as an officer, 27 of those in Los Gatos.
Thank you. Since the last meeting, I attended the West Valley Mayor-Manager meeting, which is a monthly meeting attended by the as it says, West Valley mayors and managers, and we address items that are specific to our West Valley area. A week ago Saturday, I attended the CERT graduation ceremonies here at Town Hall, along with the Vice Mayor, and I, in conjunction with the fire captain, gave diplomas to about, I think, 33 individuals from the West Valley who obtained their CERT certification. It was a large group, very impressive. And lastly, last night, I attended a public meeting here in this hall with the representatives of the water company and the water district who were, I would say, attempting to address concerns raised by the public. Ms. Sayak.
Thank you. In addition to the CERT meeting that Mayor Spector has mentioned, I was also in attendance at last night's San Jose Water Company meeting. Very well attended by many residents, not only of our own town. And this is definitely an issue that we will continue on and hopefully answer more questions about.
Mr. Leonardis.
Thank you, Mayor Spector. Since our last meeting, I attended the West Valley Sanitation Board of Directors meeting that was on November 9th, where we discussed things such as your sewer lines and how to keep those maintained. And it was mostly made up of closed session items. And then on November 3rd, I attended the West Valley Solid Waste Management Authority meeting, where we talk about things like your garbage and your recyclables. And that was also made up mostly of closed session items.
Mr. Leonardis, somebody has to do it, so thank you.
That's me.
Next, we have our manager reports. Ms. Pravetti.
Thank you. I have 4 items to report. First of all, Friday is the deadline for our commission and board application process, so we encourage interested citizens to please apply. Second, our valet free parking program starts in the downtown the day after Thanksgiving. Third, it's time for our annual tree lighting on Friday, December 2nd. We invite the public to join us at Plaza Park, and the trees will be lit at 6 p.m. Come before that, though, for singing and other presentations. And then on Saturday, December 3rd, is our annual holiday parade. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on our agenda are consent items. These items will be acted upon in a single motion unless someone from the council or the community pulls an item from the consent calendar. On tonight's agenda, they are agenda items 1 through 6. I don't have a card, but I'll start with the council. Does anyone from the council wish to pull an item from the consent calendar? Seeing no one. We have a large community out there. Does anyone from the community wish to pull an item from the consent calendar? Seeing no one coming forward, may I have a motion? Ms. Jensen.
I move approval of the consent calendar consisting of items 1 through 6.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. We now have verbal communications. This is where anyone from the community may address us on any item that is not on the agenda. If you're going to do that, I would ask you to submit a card, and I do have a card for verbal communications. Kim, if you can please come forward, you'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Council. Can you hear me? Just wanted to give you an update. I think I gave this like summertime. There's a problem with the lights still. The stoplights are not changing on University and Blossom Hill. Like, they're not changing at all. You know, it's like sitting there for a while. Also, North Santa Cruz Avenue up and down, the cars are going way too fast still. I don't know if you want to propose possibly the lights that show the speed or slow down or something to that nature. They're just going way too fast, and people are trying to cross the street, and it's still a problem. I mentioned the flags down towards like Safeway and all that. People can't even cross. I'm just giving you an update on that. I kept on seeing that this last week, so let's see what else. I think that's it.
Thank you, Kim. And I'm just going to confirm with staff that you've made note of her concerns, and I would imagine that we will be raising those issues at our January priority meeting, if not before.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Kim.
Council.
Now, I don't have any more cards, but does anyone want to address us on verbal communications? Seeing none, we will now go on to the next agenda item, which is, I'm sure nobody's here for this item. I'm sure you were here for verbal communications, the appointment of the mayor and vice mayor. So let me start out. We do have a process here, and I'm the fortunate one who gets to go first and make the motion to motion for our next mayor. And I have the privilege and honor of nominating for that position the person who has served us well as vice mayor this past year, Mariko Sayak. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have multiple seconds. I sounded first like Mr. Rennie and Miss Jensen. Well, we'll go to the. Do we have a discussion? No discussion. The nominee says there better not be any discussion, except. All right, so we have a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Congratulations, Ms. Sayak. And do you have a few words to share with us?
I do. Actually, I do. Actually, this is a pretty awesome feeling, so thank you all for attending. Thank you, Council, for the promotion, and thank you for everyone here for the opportunity. It truly is a big honor to be next year's Town of Los Gatos mayor. And I've been giving a lot of thought about this over the past week. I think the national political shock has really made me reflect on just what government's about, its role on our lives, and just what I could do, my tiny role in our political hierarchy. And I know that, the biggest frustration we all have is that we can't control what's happening, whether it's in Washington, D.C. or in Sacramento. But I've decided that frustration having talked to many people, can really be used towards determination. And one thing that I've become more and more determined about is to make our town as special as it can be. We're very fortunate that we live in such a wonderful town. And we talk constantly about preserving the look and feel of our town. And we fill these chambers constantly with people who want to talk about that, who want to get engaged, and who want to get involved. And oftentimes we talk about those in terms of buildings and facades and heights. And I've been really thinking that really, when we talk about the look and feel of Los Gatos, it's really us, the people. And regardless of what happens in Washington, D.C., or in Sacramento, or in any other part of our world, we can determine how we want our community to be shaped. And so I promise to all of you that I will really try and foster very inclusive policies and really just foster an environment where we just treat each other with kindness and respect and compassion, because I think that will define us. That's the look and feel of Los Gatos, and that's something that we should really embrace as we look towards the challenges of the future. So thank you. I am very super happy. I think this is super cool. And I just want to thank all of you for being here and sharing it with me. Okay, so now I have the honor of nominating next year's vice mayor. And I nominate and move that we nominate, actually, Rob Rennie for next year's vice mayor. And Rob and I have been serving together for the past 2 years. I know he shares my passion for community service as well as my own passion for environmental stewardship and sustainability. And I look forward to the things that we can do and how we can weave those passions into our day-to-day governance. So I move that we appoint Rob Rennie for next year's vice mayor. Councilmember Jensen?
Second.
Any discussion? So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Congratulations, Vice Mayor-elect Rennie.
So I get to say a few words?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor Sack. I did jot down a few things. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. I'll have to say I am excited to support Mayor Sack as her vice mayor. As she's already started indicating, we share many of the same values and passions. I look forward to working with her on the issues she is passionate about, such as Los Gatos schools, education, and development of our children, the environment, sustainability, and a healthy community, among many other things. Mariko has continuously advocated for transparency and giving everyone a chance to be heard. We both feel it's important to keep the people of Los Gatos well informed, including making sure council members get the information they need to make good decisions. Fairness is important to her, and making sure everyone is recognized for their efforts and contributions. You can count on Mariko to give credit where credit is due. Inclusive is another adjective I would use to describe Mayor Sack. I think she's already used it tonight. Working with Council Member Sack for the last 2 years, I've witnessed her intelligent and thoughtful approach to the tough issues and always respected her insightful conclusions. I have frequently looked forward to hearing her thoughts on issues and now look forward to seeing where she will lead us. We are looking forward to a good year under Mayor Sack. I know she's going to do us right.
As you can see, we're off to a good start. Thank you very much. So now what I'd like to do is I would like to ask Mayor Spector to join Vice Mayor-elect Rennie and I down at the podium. So this is our opportunity to thank Mayor Spector for the wonderful leadership she has provided us this past year. Mayor Spector has served our town for the past 12 years, 3 of those as our mayor, and we are fortunate to be blessed with another 4. When I moved to Los Gatos in 2005, one of the very first council meetings I attended, there was a local activist by the name of Citizen Ray. I don't know if you remember. And he called her an angel for the work that she was doing at that time to fight a wrong that was happening in the community. And I just decided, who is this angel and how do I get to know her? And I can say that for the past 12 years, she has been fighting for Los Gatos, and she will continue to fight for Los Gatos for the next 4 years. So on behalf of the town, thank you for your service. So we have honorary gavel. And also what we would like to do is we'd also like to show you a video representing the past year, your service to our town as our mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. A river running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. Well, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. A dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? And butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Asleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world, and they're both worlds for me. It's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Well, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I am feeling so good.
Thank you, staff. I know that staff did this presentation. I don't know who exactly, but for all of you who were involved in it, thank you. And for those of you out in the audience who believe that my last year as council member and as mayor was just like that, Okay, you'll notice that I've been doing this I've been mayor now for the past 12 months, and that took about 5 minutes. So that's about the proportion. But I just wanted to say, in this past year, I've been reminded, people have reminded me that when you make decisions in the government, they are not sprints, okay? What they are is that they are relay races. And so for those of you out here who are listening to us who think that the only thing that this council had before this past year involved orange netting and a walnut orchard, you are wrong. I actually counted them. We had over 250 agenda items upon which we acted in this past year. And some of them we did move forward with our relay race. And so I just wanted to share some of what I consider the highlights of our relay races. First of all, we did the studies that are necessary for us to decide or consider how we're going to deal with beach traffic come summer of 2017. We did complete a lap on the North 40 by acting on the development application and are now moving forward with considering a revised specific plan. We are completing laps on the Almond Grove with the construction on Bachman and Broadway, and we are also now starting on the other 8 streets in the Almond Grove. We are moving forward with the potential sale, lease, reuse of 6 town properties. We are moving forward with the bicycle pedestrian master plan, with the school traffic and parking analysis, and with the Veterans Memorial. Now, we did finish some races this past year. The ones we have finished are funding for the Almond Grove Street rehabilitation. We have completed that. We have a new operator in place and acting for our farmers market. We have a new operator for our music in the park. We have voted for an increased occupancy tax. And courtesy of our youth commission, call out to them, we now have in Los Gatos one of the strictest smoking policies or ordinances around. So for all of the things that we have completed or advanced, I want to give a special call out to this great council and staff with whom I have been working, to this community with whom I have been working, for my husband, who has to put up with all of this and who is sitting back there. I want to thank all of you for what you have done this past year.
We have one more award. Supervisor Wasserman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And Mariko, Madam Mayor, you were right. She is an angel. Absolutely, she's an angel. It's my honor to do this. I've only done this a couple of times in my 6 years as your county supervisor. I did a commendation for outgoing Mayor Barbara Spector, who I think is one of the most wonderful people, not only in this town, but on this planet. And as a Los Gatos resident for over 40 years, I've seen a lot come and go, and everybody's wonderful, but Barbara's got a little extra special. And I did a commendation on behalf of the County of Santa Clara, and I personalized it just a little bit. It's a certificate of commendation from Supervisor Mike Wasserman recognizing Barbara Spector on behalf of Santa Clara County residents in Los Gatos, including Ira, pal Joey, and Kim, my wife. I commend you for your dedication and outstanding leadership as the mayor of Los Gatos. Thank you for serving and maintaining the beautiful small town charm and extraordinary quality of life throughout the town of Los Gatos. I extend to you my congratulations and very best wishes for the future.
And thank you, Mike. Pal Joey's our dog. Ira's my husband. Kim is his wife. Thank you very much.
Thank you. One more round of applause, please, for Mayor Spector. So as Mayor Spector said, we owe many thanks to all of you, but I want to thank our families in particular for their patience, for their support. When I ran 2 years ago, my family was quite integral to my campaign, as I know with Mr. Rennie, your wife Isabella was equally, and so I just want everyone to know that they are my inspirations, really, for striving for a community that recognizes the greatness and goodness that each individual can be. So thank you. So I also want to call up Quincy Scott, my son, who is also my campaign manager, who will administer our oath of office.
Please raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations.
So thank you again, Los Gatos. You guys are a great community. I intend to remind you that on a regular basis. We have wonderful things in store for us. Let's work together. Let's live well. Let's work successfully. And let's just celebrate the greatness within our town. So thank you. I adjourn tonight's meeting, and I welcome everyone to stay with us in the lobby for a reception. Thanks.